Barber shaves homeless man for free. What happens next is shocking. When a barber sees a man with a long tangled beard or unruly hair enter his shop, he agrees to provide him his services for free after the man says he has no money. Little does the barber know that cutting the homeless man's hair would lead him to a shocking truth. Andrew was a kind-hearted 31-year-old man who worked as a barber. After graduating high school, he took up his profession because a single mother couldn't afford to send him to college. Instead of feeling sad, complaining, or comparing his fate with other people's lavish lifestyles, the young boy took his difficult circumstances as a challenge and worked hard towards a better future. It had been over a decade since Andrew started cutting people's hair and shaving their beards. He had his own barber shop and was making enough money to make ends meet. It was a regular day for Andrew, cutting people's hair as one person walked in after the other. His shop was a prime location in town, easily accessible to a lot of people. As the day progressed, Andrew ensured all his customers walked out of his shop satisfied. He was cutting a young boy's hair when everyone's gaze shifted towards the glass doors. A homeless man entered. Noticing how some men had started mumbling, Andrew looked towards the entrance and saw the man with a long beard and tangled hair reaching his shoulders. His torn, dirty clothes were proof of his difficult life on the streets. Standing by the entrance, the man looked at Andrew with a ray of hope sparkling in his eyes. He didn't have enough money to get a haircut or buy a razor to shave his beard. He'd entered the barbershop hoping someone would help him. "Please have a seat," Andrew smiled at the man, welcoming him aside without saying a word. The homeless man sat on one of the seats in the waiting area, hoping no one would ask him for money. Feeling nervous, he fidgeted, his gaze locked on the ground. A few minutes later, Andrew gestured for the homeless man to sit on the recliner. Feeling happy, the man stood up and walked towards the chair. "I don't have any money to pay for the services," he told Andrew, his voice tinged with embarrassment. "It's okay, sir," Andrew cheered, smiling and leaning towards him. "Your haircut is on me. Please let me know if there's anything else you need." Shocked by Andrew's offer, the homeless man thanked him and introduced himself. "I'm Jake, and you?" "My name's Andrew. I'm the boss here," he replied, smiling at Jake. "You don't have to worry about the payment, okay? Just sit here and let me transform your look." Andrew's heartwarming gesture made Jake feel happy. He quickly sat in the chair and allowed Andrew to do his magic, resting his head on the headrest as Andrew prepared to shave his beard. Carefully gliding the blade on Jake's dry, rough facial skin, Andrew shaved his unkempt beard. Then he applied a cooling aftershave on Jake's face, allowing him to relax while he grabbed his scissors for the haircut. "Wow, I love the neatness, Andrew." Jake slid his fingers across his cheeks, surprised to see his face without a beard. After years, he was happy to see how his little efforts could put a smile on a homeless man's face. He thrived on such moments of selflessness where he could help others however he could. Andrew sprayed water on Jake's greasy, uncombed hair and tamed it before grabbing his magic scissors, then began trimming the homeless man's hair inch by inch until he spotted an unusual familiar birthmark behind his ear. Andrew stopped moving his scissors and held the man's hair with his fingers, trying to figure out why the scar seemed so familiar. He looked at it for a few seconds until he recognized the man sitting before him. Looking at Jake's face in the mirror, Andrew suddenly felt his head spin. He couldn't believe that Jake was someone so closely related to him. The scar reminded him of his childhood memories, the time when he used to play with his father before he left him and his mother for another woman. Suddenly, Andrew's vision blacked out. Overwhelmed by the shocking realization, he fainted and fell to the ground, grabbing his customers' attention. Everyone inside the shop jumped to help Andrew, trying to bring him back to his senses. A few minutes later, Andrew opened his eyes and saw Jake sitting beside him. His gaze shifted from Jake to the other men in the room, waiting for him to resume working. "I'm so sorry, but I won't be able to take any more appointments today," Andrew apologized to everyone except Jake. While some of his potential customers got angry, others understood his situation and said they'd visit him another time. Everyone except Jake exited the barber shop. Andrew decided to talk to him about the scar. "This scar on your head reminds me of something. I think we're related," Andrew confessed. "What do you mean?" Jake was confused. "I think you're my father," Andrew revealed, scratching his head and his eyebrows arched upwards. "What?" Jake gasped as he began to think about his past. After a few moments of silence, he asked, "Andrew, are you Mary's son? Are you really her boy?" "Yes," Andrew nodded. "She's dead. Passed a few years after you left us." Feeling guilty about his actions, Jake apologized to his son for everything that happened in the past. "I don't know what to say, Andrew. I know it's difficult for you to forgive me, and I understand your feelings. I'm happy to know that my son is kind-hearted and treats homeless people like me with respect." Instead of blaming his father for leaving him and his mother in the past, Jake hugged him and said, "It's okay, Dad. It's okay. I'm glad fate allowed us to meet. I'm just so happy to have you back in my life." Later that day, Jake told Andrew how he lost his job and ended up on the streets while the young man shared his journey of opening a barber shop. Soon, Jake moved in with his son and was delighted to meet his grandchildren. See how this homeless man's life changed. A video of a homeless man's stunning makeover has gone viral as millions of viewers watched his transformation from dirty and scruffy to handsome and trimmed. The TikTok clip was shared on Saturday by MMA fighter Prophet Muscle, who appears to have watched a barber work his magic while giving out free haircuts to the homeless. In the before shot, the unidentified man is first seen sitting outside under a tarp with a barber using clippers to cut his unkempt mane and facial hair as another person feeds him food. He looks worn and appears to have a scar on his face as the barber continues to work on his messy, unkempt hair, which appears to have gone untouched for some time. The barber starts by close cropping his long hair at the sides before continuing to work his way around the homeless man's head. He uses an electric razor to cut crisp edges before shaving off the man's entire beard and bushy mustache. The man is first shown sitting under a tent with his hair and beard. The barber shaves the side of his head with electric shears before he works his way to the man's sideburns. They're groomed with a comb before the barber continues to shear off his beard. The footage then cuts to the after shot of the jaw-dropping physical transformation. His hair has been cut and styled into a modern faux hog, his face clean shaven as he grins slightly. "Wow, there's a face in there," a woman can be heard saying. The newly made-over man admires himself in the mirror with a look of disbelief. Another person helping to put the finishing touches on his look tells him he's a good-looking dude and urges him to quit drugs and get off the street. "Show up for your life, bro. It's not too late. How old are you?" the man off camera asks. When asked, the man getting a haircut says he's just 30. The other man replies he's 34. The 30-year-old admits he's addicted to meth, and to his surprise, the 34-year-old reveals he was in a similar situation once before he got his life together. The man's newly cut hair is then styled and gelled. "I had nothing. I had warrants for my arrest, bad credit. I was 130 pounds hooked on crack," the man said. "In these last 15 years, I got married, got those 2 little kids right there," he says amid the sound of children laughing and playing. He then promises to take the homeless man to group meetings to help him fight his addiction. The heartwarming video has since gone viral with more than 17 million views. Another act of kindness. Kind-hearted barbers have been giving homeless men haircuts for free, with many of the blokes completely transformed after a good trim and looking like different people. In a series of videos chosen by Daily Star, rough sleepers get a whole new look when stylists take the time to reveal the faces behind the hair. This comes just after French celebrity barber David Codat styled a homeless man's hair and beard after inviting him into his salon in Strasbourg. Amazingly, the cut took years off the man and viewers said he was beautiful after the shocking transformation. Here are some equally impressive makeovers showing the power of a fresh shave. Grooming company Beard Brand's incredible video of a rough sleeper getting a new haircut has been seen more than 8 million times, largely thanks to his dramatic transformation. A clip shared to their YouTube video shows barber Ricky Hernandez going to work on Jeff's Barnett. His messy, overgrown hair is twinned with a beard that has clearly been left to grow. Ricky decides to give him a classic number 2 on the sides and back, and the hair quickly falls off. He cuts the mop of hair on top before trimming down the man's beard. After the expert cut, the transformation's revealed to the camera. Gone is the man's scruffy-looking hair, replaced with a smart short haircut that perfectly shows off his facial features. Viewers flocked to the comments section to say the man looked just like a model and was very handsome. And after it went viral, Ricky himself commented to share an update on the homeless man. An unbelievable transformation video shows a homeless man turn into a hipster with a haircut and dye. Jose Antonio, who used to be an electrician, lost his job due to depression, and ever since has been working as an unlicensed parking attendant in Mallorca, raking in just enough money for food. Footage shows barber Salva Garcia offer him a free makeover, and the result is a tearjerker. Before the life-changing cut, he says to the cameraman, "Leave the doors over the mirror open for the moment so I can see myself for the last time like this." A team of stylists then go to work, clipping off his long, scraggly white and yellow hair and trimming back his beard. Then they carefully dye his hair and beard a youthful-looking hue of dark brown, knocking decades off his age. When the look is done, Jose stares at himself in disbelief and starts to well up. After the footage went viral, Jose was offered financial help by a private company who helped him off the streets, according to local media.